Hello friends, Hi-Fri here. Just have a small video for you guys today. And by small video, I mean small video. Don't know if any of you have ever seen a 4mm dynamic driver before. I did make a video a while back. I don't remember which one it was, but I included just a couple shots of my driver collection that I have, and one of the ones that I wanted to present to you guys was the 4mm drivers that Wan'er sent me. I managed to take one apart, and I happened to lose the magnet, so I have no idea where it is. I wanted to show you the magnet too, but this will have to do for now. So I apologize if the camera's a little bit shaky. It's just because it's so close and I have it zoomed in. Plus my table is not so good. So this is going to be fun. What do I have that is not metallic? One moment. Alright, cool beans. So made myself a little pointy thing here that is not metallic. So this is, and I'm not sure if another company manufactures it or not, but this is a 4mm dynamic driver that Wan'er sent me. And let me just try to zoom in here a little bit. See if I can get the focus as good as possible. So this is a 4mm speaker. Okay. It's just like a normal speaker. Okay, it's got a little voice coil there. Let's see. There you go. You see the voice coil? Alright. It has these like little spacer rings. Okay, there's like 3 of them here. And I guess these are to keep it centered inside the cavity. So this is the speaker itself, okay? And now, because of its size, let me zoom out. Because of its size, there's something very special about how it's made. And I thought this was pretty cool because I managed to take one apart. So, let me see if I can flip it over for you guys. There we go. Okay, so that's the top side of the driver. Normally in a dynamic driver, the mouth of the driver, the diaphragm would be facing this way, okay, or right side up. Well, because of how small it is, because there's no room for like a basket to hold the driver, what they're doing here is they're actually firing the driver upside down, so it's actually facing this way. And what you're looking at is the back of the driver, and the magnet is occupying the space in between. So this is the back side. This is the PCB. If I flip it over, alright, what we're looking at now, and you can kind of see inside it, just barely make it out, but that is actually the dome of the driver. So that, what you're seeing in there, is actually that right there. I'm not sure the material. I don't know. It looks kind of like Mylar, but it could be like a what do you call it? Not an amalgamation, but it's some combination of materials. So, but anyway, so that is the 4mm driver. That is the orientation when it is upside down. These 3 rings here, I believe, fit on top of the magnet, and the magnet is actually, if I can flip it over, I'm sorry guys, the magnet is actually on this side right here. So this top side is where the magnet is. So the driver is right located here, okay? Then there's these 3 spacer rings on top of the driver, and then this PCB here is actually pushed in, and then they coat it with like a wax kind of material. But yeah, so basically the magnet is attached permanently to this metal housing here, and then the driver is inserted upside down. Okay, so the voice coil is pointing down, and then the driver is actually firing up out the back. So I don't know if they have it wired in reverse or what, but that is the coolest little driver design that I've ever seen, and I just wanted to show you in reference, or in comparison, I guess I should say, a 10mm dynamic. So that right there is a 10mm. Okay, let me just get a little better light on top. Okay, so you see this is actually a DLC driver, so that's a diamond light coating driver, and that is a 10mm from top to bottom, and then that is a 4mm in comparison. And if I scoot it over just a little bit, you can see just how small it is compared to that driver. And I can actually probably do one better. Let me see if I can do this real quick. There we go. Alright. Boom. So there is a 4mm driver on top of a 10mm driver. So, yeah, just thought that was cool. Anyway, on to the real meat and potatoes. Actually, you know what? I have one more thing I wanted to show you guys. So here is a 6mm driver. Alright? This little 6mm driver here is the driver that is inside the final A5000. Alright? So I had the chance to take one apart. So here we go. You see the final. I'm sorry, E5000. So you see the E5000. Alright. And I managed to take one apart, and the construction is rather interesting. So let me show you guys what's inside the final E5000. Alright, so here's the casing. Alright, here's the back of it. This is going to be a blurry video for some portion of it, so I do apologize. So there's the housing. It goes together just like that. Okay, the cap or the back plate fits inside the shell there, and then the driver gets wedged inside and kind of protrudes out the front there. So that is the casing, and here is the module. Alright, so it fits in just like that, and this whole thing slides out. Alright, so I'll just show you. So this whole thing basically slides out. There are a couple features here that I like to point out. So they're doing some interesting tuning techniques. First off, there is a forward vent, alright, and there is a damper inside there. That is inside the nozzle. You can't see it, but it's on the top there. Alright, so it's inside. You still can't see it, that's the driver. But anyway, it's inside the top there. So there is a damper right there. And then it's got a rear chamber damper. And the dampener, it gets its air through the shell. So in the molding of the plastic, they left a notch that runs all the way down the bottom and allows it to breathe out the back here. And it breathes specifically through this little gap right here. So really nifty design, like very over engineered for what it is. So So let's take this front nozzle piece off. So this comes right off. It's actually glued on. So there you can see the damper. Okay, so that's the forward damper. You can see the front of the driver. This is some sort of like patternless, I would call it like a patternless biological driver, but it could be something else. I'm not sure. They probably say it in their marketing. And then you see there's a little bit of glue there that they used. You got the connector itself, and then this whole shell is 2 pieces, so you can actually lift it up. Alright, so there is the other half. Alright, so that's the other half of this damper right here, this massive one on top. Okay, so you see that massive damper. And then, so we got our 6mm driver right here, 5-hole, and then the back of the driver. Okay, there's another damper on the back of the driver. Now these things are notoriously hard to power. Well, guess why? This is why. Just because they dampen the hell out of the driver. So they got a rear cavity damper, they got a forward cavity damper right there. Alright, then you got the actual tuning damper of the back of the dynamic driver. Alright, and then on top of that, there's another, and I don't have, because I actually removed them, but there's another dampener on top of that. So these are actually quite sensitive, and these IEMs are actually quite easy to power, but for tuning purposes, the amount of dampening that they put on this little nozzle here and how much air they're restricting from the driver is why they are notoriously hard to power, because the driver is trying to overcome the resistance from all that dampening. So, and there you see the MMCX connector, which is a piece of crap. I hate MMCX. So that is the final E5000. And just as a show, just show you one last time. So this is the driver by itself. This is the final driver. There's a pair of these on AliExpress, and they're clones. They're not the real thing. They're not legit. From what I know, I believe the real ones are made in Japan. But these clone ones, they are available on AliExpress for about $26. So I wanted to pick up a pair because I want to compare their construction to the real thing. I've seen some pretty bad clones, some pretty poor clones, but the ones that I've spotted the other day actually look pretty good. So anyway, so yeah, so there's the back of the driver, and then you can see the side of the driver and the front of the driver. Alright, so without further ado, I have 3 IEMs in my arsenal. Let's see if I can put them all in the screen here. Alright, so this is from my last comparison. We have the was it Wan'er C2, and then I can't remember the name. Cadenza. Duh, I wanted to say Crescendo. And so we are going to take these apart today and have a quick look at them. But what I am going to do is I'm going to pause, reset the camera so I can make it a little bit bigger, so these things aren't taking up the whole space, and then we will get into that. So stay tuned. Alright guys, got a little more room here. Which one should we choose first? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, cool. C2. C2 it is. Now this one has screws on the back. They are real screws. So we will have to grab a screwdriver. So I will pause real quick, grab a screwdriver, and I'll be right back. Okay, screwdriver acquired. Let's do this. This is a, what is this? S2 H1.5? I don't know what that is. Can you see it? There we go. S2 H1.5. I don't know what that is, but that is the bit that we need for this IEM. I tried a whole bunch of other ones, and this was the one that worked the best. So it doesn't quite fit all the way in, but if you put enough downward pressure on the screws, not a lot, because if you push down on them too hard, you will actually strip out the holes. So, but if you put a little bit of downward pressure on them, you can get the screws out quite easily. All right, let me move my light up a little bit. All right, so we got our C2 here. Let's just focus in a little bit. Got a little schmutz on there. Okay, so with a little bit of force, the faceplate comes off. We have our 2-pin connector here. We have our dynamic driver. It says Tin-hifi, all nice on there. Let's actually zoom in on that. Look at that, look how pretty that is. Such a nice driver. Now you know this driver looks very familiar. I don't know if you guys remember a small IEM. You know, it doesn't really have much of a fan base. Not a lot of people liked it. You know, it's just a relatively small IEM called the Heart Mirror. Okay, that was a joke. That was sarcasm, by the way. The Heart Mirror has a huge cult following, and I actually have some of the drivers in my box there. I should probably grab them, but this PCB looks identical to the one from the Heart Mirror. So I am curious if this driver actually has anything to do with it. But let's get this connector out real quick. Oh, this is going to put up a fight, aren't you? Aren't you? Okay, there we go. So connector is liberated. Alright, and then we have this front nozzle here. I wonder if I can get that out. That is probably press fit. Hang on just a second. Alright, just checking in. This nozzle is not going to come out without a fight. So for anybody who is trying to remove the nozzle, good luck. Don't attempt it. I just tried, and you will smash up the nozzle. Basically, I tried using my little razor knife technique, and I just managed to take a chunk out of the razor knife, and it kind of split a little bit, but barely. So that is not the way to go in. So I will have to go in through the back, and I hate doing that, but that is what I'll have to do. So be right back. Okay, quick progress report. So the nozzle actually unscrews. I was a doofus, thought that it would pry out, but it actually unscrews. It is glued. I can show you guys the techniques to get the glue out and unscrew it without causing any damage. But obviously I'm not worried about damaging these. I kind of figured I would damage them anyway, because the only thing I really care about are the drivers. I don't care about the earphones, I don't care about the shells, I just want the drivers. I do kind of want to keep the shell in one piece just because I want to see the design of the shell, but I don't know, it's not that big of a deal. So anyway, I'm going to dig a little bit further and I'll be right back. But yeah, so that's basically where we're at right now. So if you do decide to try to remove the nozzle portion, where are they at? This upper portion right here, it's a long, tedious process, but basically you can get some stuff in there that'll loosen up the glue, and then you can get some kind of leverage around here, but it'll have to be something smooth that will make contact with this finish here and won't like scratch it up, and then you can unscrew it. But it would be a lot of work. So anyway, BRB. Alright, ladies and germs. I kind of boogered it up a little bit, but it's in one piece. I just tested it. It does work. Sometimes you gotta brute force it. Let's try to get a better look at it. Alright, there we go. So this is the C2 driver. Alright, so this is what it looks like. It's got no center hole. Alright, this has been the thing recently. This is what companies have been doing, so there's no center hole. It's this is the same thing we did with the shoot, what is it? My friend Vanek, he could tell you what the other IEM was. Fuck, forget the name off the top of my head. But anyway, there's another IEM that uses it, and then also working with QOA, the gimlet that we worked on, that has a very similar driver to this one. I don't know if it's exactly the same. Actually, hang on a second, because I have them. Alright guys, cool beans, cool beans. So here's the C2 driver. Alright, this is Gimlet's driver. Sorry, I put a cap on them. I'm using them for a different project right now, so you can't really see what's inside. Actually, hold on, I might be able to take the cap off. Yeah, yes I can, okay. Cool. Alright, here we go. Okay, cool. Let's put that inside. Alright, so for anyone curious, C2, gimlet, right? This is gimlet. Here's the back side. Okay, so they are two different manufacturers. They are not the same drivers. Alright. So this is the back side of Gimlet. Back side of Tin-hifi C2. Okay. And then for comparisons, because I was saying this earlier, alright, because of the PCB, this is heart mirror. This is C2. Okay. This is front of heart mirror. Okay, so that's what heart mirror looks like. That is the front of C2. Apparently, heart mirror has changed. Somebody told me they changed the driver inside. So I just wanted to show you one more. So this is Blonde Z200 or Z2000, whatever it is, the purple one. That's the front of it. Okay. So blonde heart mirror. Blonde heart mirror. So blonde makes the heart mirror driver, apparently. And then C2. Okay. And gimlet. Okay. So this is the QOA, Queen of Audio gimlet. And this is the C2. So this is the new thing they're doing, where they're covering the dome of the driver, and all the sound is actually emanating from the holes around the periphery. Now these are both LCP. If you guys want, I can take measurements of them and I can show you the difference between the two. So if you want to see the difference in response, I will probably end up pulling the other one out of the C2, the one I have intact, just so I can have one that's not dented up or whatever. It may affect the sound a little bit. I highly doubt it, but I will test it, and I'll give you guys a raw graph if you want to see a raw graph of the dynamic drivers. So anyway, that concludes our first part, and then we will get into part dos. Uno momento. Alright guys, part deux. Now it is down to god damn it, Waner. I forgot. Waner and what is it? Cadenza. I'm so bad. I'm sorry guys. I'm really bad. I will say this now. I will preface, if we land on Cadenza, I am not taking it fully apart. I will only take the backs off, and there's a good reason, because I have the Tin-hifi C3 on the way, and I need to be able to compare these to the C3 before I actually take them apart and take the beryllium driver out. So unless it is a resin IEM, so unless I find a way that I can remove the drivers safely without risk of damaging them or the shell, then I will keep them inside and we'll just look at the back. So, alright, let's roll the dice again. So we got eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Okay, cool. Waner is next. Now, this is a beautiful IEM, and it's going to be kind of a shame to take it apart, but it is made out of plastic, so let's do it. And I have no sentimental value to this IEM, so. Oh, look at that. Look at that. There's our, oh look, there's a little piece of plastic there. What is this? Is this another piece of plastic? What are you? What are you? Tell me your secrets. While I try not to cut myself. Huh. Weird. Is that how they're doing it now? Huh. Okay, cool. It's just a thin little piece of plastic. It's just a super small printed piece of plastic. It's got this design, this weave pattern imprinted on the back, and then the these little foil stickers are actually sandwiched. So it's three layers of plastic. So there's the top layer, which is just like a gloss layer, right? Oh no, I was wrong. I thought it was. Okay, I thought it was 2 layers. Cool. Cool, there we go. Look, there's your, come on, focus. There's your little Waner pattern. You want to wear that as a tattoo, or like put that on another IEM. I will actually, where should I put it? Where should I stick it? Here, I'll stick it on the back of C2. There we go. So, my C2 just became a Waner. Because I could actually use that inside of another IEM. Let me see if I didn't fuck up this one too much. Sorry, excuse the language. I'm so sorry, guys. Okay, sweet. So I got that one too. Come on, focus, you mother effer. Okay, there's a little heart. Aw, how cute. Okay, so let's just slap that bad boy on there. And there we go. There's our Waner C2. Alright? You guys Waner C2? But yeah, this is what I wanted to show you. This is what I was saying earlier. This side right here. So it's like a screen printing almost. I don't know, it could be two different pieces of plastic. Yeah, it is. I thought it was like paint or something. Is it paint? No, it's plastic. So they're bonding 2 pieces of plastic together. And then they have these little foil stickers. So that kind of makes sense. That's pretty similar to the some of the other construction techniques I've seen. If you guys wonder why I do this, okay, let me explain something really quick. So you guys are probably looking at me like, this guy's crazy. Why is he taking this shit apart? Like, this costs money. Yeah, it does. It costs a lot of money. I waste a lot of money on this stuff. Also, by the way, if you want to donate to my PayPal, link in the description. You don't have to, by all means. I'm not trying to shill out for donations or anything like that. But if you do so, feel compelled. Any bit goes a long way, and it'll help towards future projects like this. So anyway, but yeah, it does cost a lot of money, but there's a very good reason why I do this. Because I learn and I absorb the techniques that manufacturers use, and I can implement those in my own designs. So if I ever wanted to. Now, I can't do stuff like this. I could design a shell like this, and I could have a mold made of it, and I could send it to like a factory in China or something like that, and have them blast me out a whole bunch of shells. What do you call it? Injection molded shells. But like, I'm not going to do that kind of thing. I'm just one person. I don't have the kind of money. But when it comes to, stuff like this, like, I could get, I could create a design, and I could have somebody etch it out, in these little, it's like a foil sticker. But yeah, they can cut this out. Or I could just do like a chemical process. I could do like a chemical etch if I really wanted to. The sky's the limit. I could do like a laser cutter, and I could cut out a design, and and then I could take like an IEM, for example, like one of my prototypes or something, and put a nice little back plate on there, and then once I get the back plate on there, then could pretty it up or whatever. So it's little stuff like that. And another way I'll put it. So for example, take this IEM. The construction of this IEM, the entire construction, everything about it, are all techniques that I've learned from opening up IEMs. Everything that I've learned about this, I've learned on my own, not from reading, maybe little teeny bits and pieces from other people, but this 99% of this is learning on my own, real world experience from taking other things apart, figuring out the vent system, copying the shell, putting the little flecks of foil in there, venting the drivers, putting the connector in, installing the connector where it's flush, like that kind of stuff. Installing the tubing, finding the right tubing, the dampeners, all that stuff. That's all stuff that I've learned on my own. And I'm sorry, I'm not trying to toot my own horn or nothing, because I don't feel that way whatsoever. I'm probably one of the most humble people you'll ever meet, because I really don't think what I do is all that special. And all my coworkers think I'm nuts. But that aside, I learned stuff from this. So, I do it for fun, for my own enjoyment, but also to share it with you guys, and maybe you'll learn something from it as well. I have a whole wealth of knowledge, that I can share with you guys. Some of it's very limited. Some of it I can't really explain because my vocabulary is not there. But, I can do my darndest to try to share things with you guys. And I'm sure that you have things to teach me too. I've had so many people that I've met recently who have taught me, things that I didn't know. And, the way they explained it, like, it's like something that I thought of in my head, but like I didn't know how it worked, or like I didn't know everything about it, and the way they explained it just made everything lock in and make sense. So anyway, ramble over. These are all constructed the same way. So you have your nozzle here. I saved these. I have a whole bunch of them laying around because I figured one day I'll make some IEMs with a resin body, but like a metal nozzle, and I will do that eventually. But yeah, so there's the front of our bad boy. And I'm sorry if the lighting kind of sucks, guys. I'm trying to get it good. Maybe that works. All right, yeah, that's probably a little better. Yeah, you guys can definitely see it's not as blown out. Alright, recently I've been getting into cameras a lot and like videography. been watching videos on the RE Alexa and like Red Devil and all that stuff, different like cinema cameras and whatnot. And I actually thought about picking up an old cinema camera because there's a whole bunch of them you can get on eBay for like dirt cheap, just because they're a little bit outdated. But you can get some really, really good, like epic killer video quality just from a cheap little $100 camera off eBay. So definitely something cool if you know what you're looking for. And I've never really been into video before. I mean, I was for a while. I was a camera operator. I've done all kinds of stuff. I don't know if you guys know or not. I think I mentioned it in one of my videos a long time ago. I think it was my KZ video. But I spent 15 years as an audio engineer. I did all facets of audio engineering. I did like 12-year stint as a live engineer. I did a lot of freelance like studio work and stuff like that. I worked at a couple studios. I worked for production houses, doing all kinds of stuff. I've made sound effects. I've just whatever, you name it. I've done a bunch of stuff. Live sound reinforcement, front of house kind of stuff. Not really any I didn't do any like monitor mixes or anything like that. The majority of my experience was in the studio, doing live events like front of house, and then like load in, load out, grip, that kind of stuff. But or roadie, whatever you want to call them, gopher. but yeah, and then I did a little bit of broadcast too, and broadcast I did for a couple years. Okay, so this driver is really interesting. Now this, I don't know how to explain this. So you guys know about my Huayanzin? I don't know how to pronounce it. It's the HUAWNXIN drivers. Where are they at? These guys right here. These guys. Okay. I'm going to show these off too, by the way. I do apologize to the company. I told them that I'd do some content on the drivers here, take a look at them, play around with them, put them in some shells and stuff, but I haven't had very much time. I'm literally doing this video at 4 o'clock in the morning after I got off work. I've worked 5 days in a row. I got to go back in tomorrow, 6th day, before I have any time off. So I'm just trying to crank out stuff, keep people engaged, that kind of stuff, but I just haven't had any time for experiments. The only thing that I can do that's quick and easy is tearing stuff apart. If I want to actually like build something, it takes way longer and it's way more mentally taxing. So anyway, so this is the driver in the Tangzu Waner. Okay, this is a very, very KZ-esque DD, but I wonder if it's made by that company I just showed you, the HUAYUNXUN, Huayan, or whatever it's called, because the design is different than a KZ, but it is still very similar to a KZ. So there's the shell. You have a new pad arrangement. So there's your leads coming from the voice coil, and then you have 2 pads up here, and you got 2 more blank pads down there. So unlike your DD that's got 4, this is 6, and then you have some that are 8. I don't know if I have any on hand to show you, but I haven't really seen one with six leads on it. So just found that kind of interesting. But yeah, so there is the side of the driver. You can see where the leads come out of. I have a shit ton of KZ drivers, and like I said, this is very, very reminiscent to a KZ driver. Is that something on the diaphragm? Yes, it is. Did I get it? Did I get it? Yes, I got it. Okay, cool. Sorry, there was something on the diaphragm. Wanted to make sure that I got it off. But yeah, so there's the Tangzu name. So I'm really curious who manufactures these for them. They're good drivers. They're a lot like a lot of older KZ drivers though. There's a reason why KZ is moving away from these drivers, because they're very bassy, boomy. There's a lot of like mid-bass bleed. They're very full sounding, very rich, good tonality, but they're just a little too muddy, a little too slow. They don't have good resolving ability. And when I say I got a crap ton of these, here, let me just show you guys. Let me show you some of them. This isn't even all of them. Alright, like I said, I have a lot of them. Alright. So, all of these, well, except for that one. But those, that, the Zun, even the XUN or the Zun drivers, those are the same. So you see the hole in the middle, the magnet layout. Alright. Same with those. Well, that one's different. So those two don't count. That one does. And I got even more. These are carbon black versions of them. I got more here. More here. These are the Zun. They're the same drivers, but they just have KZ's proprietary little back plate on them. They're built exactly the same. I've taken a million of them apart. Where did I put that driver? Here it is. So this is the one in question. Alright. Do you see the difference? Or you see the similarities? So there's KZ's XUN driver, or Zun driver, whatever you want to call it. Hole's a little bit bigger on this one. But let's go to some of these like older ones here. Okay. Very similar. Similar shell. You know, they have this area where the leads come down. Okay. And they're all built like that. They're all built identical. Some of them are a little higher, more higher end than others. Okay. I don't even know half the models that they came out of because I didn't keep track of which ones were which. That's why I don't compare them. But yeah, so there's the Tangzu one, and you can see it's just like all the other ones except the PCB is different. It's even got, they all have these like little, where are they at? There it is. They all have these little wings on them. Like on each side there's like a little fin there, and then there's like a little one there. Okay, all of them have it. So you see there's one there on that side, and then same on that side, there's like a little fin. There we go. So yeah, so very same manufacturer, if not very, very similar manufacturer, or manufacturer adjacent. But alright guys, that is part dos. On the part tres. I'll be right back. Okay, so we have two down, two contenders, two best mates, C2 and Waner. Alright, so there's C2 and Waner. Alright, let's choose who gets it next. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, catch a tiger by its toe. If he hollers, let him go. Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Ah, shit, I lost. Okay, damn it. Every time. I lose every time. Okay, just kidding. Alright, let's see. So I'm gonna grab my trusty blade. And just grab a fresh one, so I don't jack up the shell too much. We're going to look for our seam. So I see a little bit of a seam right along here. Stupid camera is not focusing. There we go. So you see a little seam there. Go along the edge. It's hard to see, but I can see it right there. So let's just shoot for the stars and see if we get lucky. Goodness. All right. Am I getting lucky? Nope. I'm not getting lucky, am I? Hey, look at that. Boom. Ba-bam. Wha-bam. Sorry, guys. Sorry if I blocked your path. Oh, ooh, it stinks. Ooh, stinks. Stinks like resin. Oh, yeah, that smells. Okay. Well, that's a resin IEM for you. A partially uncured resin IEM. Yeah, a little damage on the faceplate. I guess I'm not very good at doing this on camera. I'm a little better better at doing it when I don't have a freaking phone hovering above my face. But yeah, so there's our little kiwi ears. Let's take a look at this bad boy. Let's take a look at this mamma jamma. Now, like I said, I'm not going to get too far in it, just because I don't want to kill these. I would like to keep them okay. Keep that piece of resin so I can put it back together if need be. Believe it or not, this looks really ugly, and you'd be like, dude, you can't fix that. No, it's really easy to fix, believe it or not. Resin is the resin IEMs are one of the easiest things to put back together. The problem is when you get like a hybrid freaking, anyway, I don't want to talk long about this guy, but the freaking mangered T, this stupid fucker here, had to replace one of the hoses, and I don't have the right size of tube, so I had to order freaking tube, and I might just have to rebuild a whole new shell for the mangered T. That's why this driver's sticking out so far, is just because there's not a good implementation of putting this driver together and scooting the tube through. So anyway, work in progress. But yeah, so anyway, resin IEMs, like this would go together pretty much seamlessly. You know, you may not think it, but ta-da. And then all this stuff right here, you just add a little bit of resin in there, and it'll all come back to its normal color, and it'll look good as new. Like, it even popped on there. It belongs just fine. You get a little piece missing, just, you know, a little piece right there, just glue it in. Glue it in with some more resin, and good as new. You never know it was open. But anyway, yeah, so that was one of the reasons why it was hard to open, is because it's actually recessed. This is part of the way they 3D print these IEMs now. They make a little recess inside here, and then this top faceplate actually sets down into it, and then all they have to do is just go bloop and resin over it. They don't have to hold it together, you know, and then resin around it. It's a whole different process. It's just easier. It makes assembly easier, makes the assembly line move faster, and it makes them able to produce these for much cheaper. That's why they're coming down in price, is because you notice a lot of the cheap ones that sound really good, you notice how they're all 3D printed. Well, that's because 3D printing technology is making it much more accessible. Now, you have your outliers, you know, you have ones like these, but most of the time it's a company that already had the shell, so they already had this, you know, this metal stamp or whatever, the tooling for this, or they already had this design, you know, ready to be machined, and then they just took their prototype, stuffed a bunch of drivers in there until they found one that fit and sounded good, and then they're like, okay, cool, pass. And then, you know, a couple tuning adjustments real quick, boop, pop a dampener on, you know, pop that on. All right, sounds good, ship it out. You know, it's not very hard. It's just, you know, if you have enough speakers laying around, you know, and enough shells laying around, you'll come across a pair that sound good together, and you know, with no fooling around. You won't have to toy around with anything. And the same thing with a printed IM. You can print out so many revisions of this cavity inside. You know, you can print one with a certain amount of volume, try it out. Nope, that doesn't sound right. Or, oh no, I'm getting some kind of, you know, reflections or whatever. Or I'm getting like resonating in the cavity or whatever, like, you know, or resonances, I should say. So you get like that kind of stuff. All you do is just tweak the design, boom, print out another one, try it out. Oh, okay, no, this sounds better, this sounds worse. You know, print out another one, tweak the design, print out another one, boom. So it's just that kind of thing. Let's see if we can take a look at the front of this driver, because I don't want to disappoint y'all. I want to have some sort of, go out with some sort of bang. Alright, so far all these IEMs have had mesh screens on them, like tuning screens or whatever. Alright, so that is, let me move my camera, or move my light. Alright, so this is our beryllium driver. Okay, is there a hole? Yes, there is a center hole. It's going to be really hard to see in there. So there is, see if I can point to it. There is a center hole right there. Okay. And then we got some, looks like blue glue around it. Looks like a 9-hole. It is shiny, so it could be beryllium. I mean, it could be any metal, honestly. I think a lot of the quote-unquote beryllium IEMs aren't actually beryllium. They're some sort of adjacent metal, because beryllium is actually highly toxic. It can kill you, so you don't want to get too close to it. You definitely don't want to breathe it in or any of that sort. So let's see. Oh, okay. Yeah, this is that jelly stuff. This is that jelly. Look at that. Oh yeah. Bet you guys want to eat that. That's why it smelled. That's why it smelled funny. Alright. Well, cool beans. So that means that it might be easy to take apart. I don't know if I'm ready to risk it yet or not. But, yeah. I don't know, guys. I don't think you're ready. I messed that up. I don't think you're ready for this jelly, because my body's too bootylicious for you. But, yeah, that's some goopy stuff. Man, that is some really... And you know what's funny is every company, every single manufacturer uses different stuff. They use different glue. Like the stuff in the Manger tea is like, how do I explain it? It's like Jello that like flakes off into like chunks. Like it's like rubbery, but it flakes off into like big chunks. And then you got this stuff, which is like gooey and slimy. And then you have like Tin-hifi stuff, which is like super tacky and like super strong. And like when you pull it, it actually makes noise. It's like, I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, all these different adhesives, man, they're no joke. Yeah, this stuff is definitely not good. It's like eating away at the driver. So it's like eating away at the other adhesives. See this yellow stuff here? This is meant to protect the conductors from getting broken. And it's not supposed to be this soft. This is supposed to be rock hard. So whatever this crap is that they put in here is not good. And you saw how it took the paint with it, that little red dot. It like took it with it. So yeah, I'm not a fan. That stuff shouldn't be coming off. So I probably will have to destroy these shells, because unfortunately what's going to happen is if I try to pull this driver out, it's going to take the wires with it, because everything has just turned to mush. And another problem you can have is this PCB is glued down to the speaker, and because of this nasty jelly stuff, the PCB could come apart and just pop right off the driver and then kill it that way, because it puts tension on the wires. Yeah, that stuff is no good. I don't want to leave you guys hanging, but I honestly don't think I can go any further with this. I really don't want to damage these, because I'm not going to pay another $35. I can actually, oh sorry, I'm out of focus. I can actually see like a wire down in there, or like part of the PCB. Yeah, that's not good. That shouldn't happen. So yeah, kiwi ears, I'm sorry guys, but you need to talk to your manufacturer and have them fix this adhesive that they're using, because it is highly corrosive and caustic, and like I smell it, right? I mean, it is like the strongest chemical smell coming off of it, and it is legit eating away at the driver. It's eating away at the other glue that is meant to protect the wires. And obviously it is not really doing a good job of keeping me out, because it is flaking off like nobody's business. So anyway, if anybody from Kiwi Ears hears this or sees me, yeah, change your glue, please. This adhesive is no good. It's no bueno. It's eating away at stuff it shouldn't be eating away at, and you're having chemical reactions where there should be none. So, alrighty then. Well guys, I'm sorry, but I think this is the end of the road. Hopefully this earphone still works. Let me zoom out, and I'll leave you guys with last parting words. Let me grab something real quick. Alright. Get them all in frame here. Alright guys, so let's just let's get everything set up here in order. Alright? Let's just have a moment of silence for our fallen brethren. Okay. And I'm just going to have a little eulogy. C2, you were harsh, abrasive, but you served us well. Waner, I didn't think you were that good, but for 20 bucks, you did your job. You were pretty though. You were the belle of the ball. And Cadenza, well, I hardly knew you. So, rest in pieces. Alright guys, if you like that, stay tuned. I got more crap to show you. See you later.